A lot of you guys are so censored by men because you don't have money. $500,000, y'all wouldn't even be thinking about why the man not texting you because you in Paris shopping. Clock it. Oh, what? Who's that? What? His name is Anthony who? Oh, excuse me, I'm in a also. Excuse me. Let me call you back.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of Transform&Talk with me, Tanisha. So as you all can see, we will be talking about decentering men. Okay, now I know this is a trendy topic and it is very sensitive. I noticed that some people agree with this and some people don't, and that is okay. To each their own. Now I personally think that women, especially young women who are single and single women in general, I really do think that we need to decenter men from our lives. I think it's important for us to learn more about who we are, especially when you are young. You need to grow and develop into who God created you to be. You need to figure out your gifts, your talents, what career or job that you like to pursue, how you want to carry yourself as a woman, what does she look like, how do you want to dress, what hairstyles look good on you, you know what I mean? Like, what nail shape do you like? In all seriousness, you have to figure out who it is that you are and what it is that you like. A man should be the least of our concerns, especially when we really don't know who we are. So decentering men is simply dismantling the societal pressure to center men in relationships. Now, y'all seen the movie Coming to America. The prince did not want to marry the woman who was trained to serve and only center him. He did not want her. He told her to bark like a dog. She barking like a dog, a big dog, woo, woo, a little dog. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen the movie. She hopping on one foot. He was turned off by that. He wanted someone with her own mind, her own likes, her own goals, her own visions. And the same applies today. Mature men who are not abusers, they want substance from a woman. They do not want slaves. Okay, y'all, now listen, here are some ways to decenter men. Number one, shift your focus. Stop putting all your time and energy as well as attention into a man, especially if you are young. I cannot stress that enough. Young women, enjoy your youth. Okay. Now, learn about yourself as a woman. Validate yourself as a woman. Focus on accomplishing your goals and your dreams. Let me tell y'all something. When I was married, yes, I was married. When I was married, I lost a part of myself. I started settling and being more wrapped up into being a supportive wife than achieving and birthing my own visions. And let me tell y'all something. God told me himself not to lose myself while in the marriage. And this was early on too. This was early on. I will never forget it. And God told me that. My overconfident self thought I was exempt. I'm about not me. Who don't lose himself? What I look like losing myself? And guess what happened? I lost myself. But you know what? That's another story for another day. The point is, shift that focus off of a man, centering a man, and focus on yourself. Okay. Now, number two, prioritize personal growth. Baby, listen, it is time for you to fall in love with you. Okay. Take time out to celebrate you, to get to know yourself. Have self-care days. Read books that'll enhance your mind to be a better woman. Read the Bible, attend church, talk to older women that have wisdom, that have gone through some things that you are currently going through. Journal, meditate, prepare yourself to be the woman that you desire to be. And let me tell you something. When a man sees you in your glow, in your glory, he'll want to love you. He'll want to take care of you. He will find you as a woman who is interesting because you are mature and you're well balanced. You have hobbies, you have friends, you have aspirations. Girl, you got a life. Okay? So take that time out to prioritize your personal growth. Okay, y'all. Number three, reevaluate relationships that you have. Who is around you? Do you have people that are influencing you to be male centered? Do you have people around you who are helping to edify you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, to be a better woman, to be your best self? who is around you, you know. Also, when you are evaluating relationships, reevaluate your relationship with yourself. You know, try to understand why you've made decentering men a priority. Figure out who and what it is that you value. Take time out to even understand, what do you as a woman bring to a relationship? Now they be like, what do women bring to the table? But no, in all seriousness, what do you bring to a relationship? Are you going to be so centered on a man that's all your energy is, just energy to center him and to be all up his butt? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, what do you really require from a man? No healthy man, hear me, no healthy man wants a woman who 99.9% of the time wants to be all up in his face. That man will need some space. You know what I'm saying? Look, baby, find you something safe to do. You don't want him coming at you like that because you all up. And why you all in my grill all the time? No, that man need to breathe without you. So you need to build other relationships with other people. You know, don't lose your relationships with your friends. Work on your relationships with them, your family, you know. It's okay to even meet new people. Like, put yourself out there, develop new relationships, and also, as you reevaluate your relationship with yourself, learn what you like and what you don't like and work on that. Because, baby, listen, we have to have balance. Balance, balance, balance. We cannot make men the center of our lives. Okay? All right, y'all, we're going to move further into this video. And y'all know, before I go, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video if you would like. Prayers and blessings.
As a woman, one of the best things you're ever going to learn how to do is how to decenter men and instead center yourself. I'm not kidding, your life will do a complete 180 flip if you do this. Because when men are the center of your life, that doesn't leave any room for you. It doesn't leave any room for the things that you care about. It doesn't leave any room for the things that you love. And it doesn't make room for you to discover yourself and who you truly are as a person. I'm not saying that you can't care about men or want a relationship or want intimacy or connection. It just means that they don't have to be the center of your life and they don't have to influence your decisions so impulsively and so intensely. Not only will you be more at peace, but life will be a lot more fun.
Take men out of the center of your life and see what that do for you. Stop centering men in your life and see what that do for you. And I'm not talking about all these men. No, I mean, if you want to be a better woman, be that for you. If you want to be a healed woman, if you want to be a soft woman, be that for you. If you want to be a kept woman, a provided for woman, a protected woman, hell, find ways to do that for you. Because when you're able to set that tempo for yourself, it becomes that much easier to see who don't know it, to see who can't dance to it. And so many people, and it's not just women, so many people have not placed into their lives the thing that they demand, so they don't know how to recognize that in the real world. If you got walls up, mama, you would never know safety if it sat in your lap, because your walls are more important to you than safety. You feel me?
Decenter men. I promise you, the root of all your problems and the reason you're not where you want to be in life right now is because you are still worried about men. It seems like y'all don't realize and are yet to understand that energy is currency. Okay? You are spending so much energetic currency thinking about men and worrying about men and living your life according to what men like and what they want and what they desire. That's energetic currency you could be using to create your desired reality, towards self-actualization, towards leaving your mark in this world, towards doing what you came here to do, doing what God put you here to do. Imagine you wake up every single day with about $1,000 worth of energy, currency. By 12 p.m., you done spent $700 out of it worried about a man, and you only got $300 left to do everything else that you need to do in order to build up yourself. I need y'all to start really putting things into perspective and realizing that the root of all of your problems is the fact that you have placed men in the center of your own story.
I decentered men for 8 months so you didn't have to, and this is what happened. I was always the one to always be in a situationship, dating someone new, having a new boyfriend, or just always in a long-term relationship. So I just thought, I'm kind of sick of this. I have had the best year, I kid you not. I have done a lot of things self-help wise that I wanted to do. For example, I feel like I used to be a little insecure, and now I feel like I'm more confident. I can speak up more. I'm not as shy as I used to be, and my world does not revolve around a text back. Back in the day, I used to have a no call, no show policy. I still have that policy, but I feel like it's only when I know that some shenanigans is going on and I just know I shouldn't be a part of it. Also, stop doing things for the male gaze. I used to be a little bit of a hoochie. Not completely. I wasn't like thoughty, but I did show a lot of skin. So now I feel like I'm a little more modest in my approach and how I dress. Like today, I love this outfit. Like, and I'm fully covered. The only thing you can get out of me is a shoulder babe. Like, be for real. But I feel like it's just helped me kind of grow as a woman to decenter men. I'm not completely off dating, but I just feel like when I do start dating seriously, my intentions are very clear and I won't stay around longer than I need to. So I feel like this decentering men journey is very helpful.
Most men have the least respect for women that do the most for them. And it's sad, but it's true. I'm sure you've been there where you were like, if I just love him just a little bit harder, he is going to see everything that I am as a woman and that I am for him. But really, it's just making him hate you more. He has less amount of respect for you because he knows that he can just do whatever and you're never going to go anywhere. And this is why I talk so much about having that dark feminine energy, tapping into that and learning how to decenter men. Now, when I say decenter men, people take it as, oh, just done with men. No, I don't know about you. I need a man in my life. What I mean by decentering men is not making them the center of your life. So women will get a man and then we just fall off the face of the earth. We're just like, oh, friends, family. No, my man. I'm with my man, my man, my man. Learn how to decenter men. Learn how to make yourself the center. When you make yourself the center, you have high standards, high boundaries, and you always put yourself first.
So I saw this post on Threads and it resonated with me because it really shows the importance of decentering men. No shade to the creator, but she wrote in the thread that she was out to dinner with her friends. All the women were 35 and up, meaning they were grown. Atmosphere was beautiful. Drinks were beautiful. Just having a good time. She thought internally, I really am having a good time, but I would rather be with a man playing footsies. Instead of keeping that to herself, she decided to say it out loud as a joke. Nobody laughed. She said it got very awkward and tense and quiet, and then somebody finally broke the silence and said, "Not me, girl. I don't need no man. I'm fine all by myself." She said when she walked away from the table, she was feeling hurt. When she went home, she was feeling sad because she feels like the world tries to make it seem like it's bad to want love, to crave love. When we're human beings, we should want love. But I think she's missing a point. That's not the point. The point is that you cannot even enjoy a time with your friends. Nobody's thinking about a man. That's someone who has men as the center of their life. Like, you can't do anything without thinking, oh, I wish I was with a man doing this. I wish I was enjoying this with a man. I wish I was the same way. When you decenter men, you don't even think about them. When you're having a good time, that's my time to have a good time with my girlfriends. We're having a good time. We're eating, we're drinking, we look beautiful. The venue is beautiful. Nobody is thinking about a man right now. Now, if I'm dating a guy and he asks, do you have any suggestions for a restaurant? Oh, yeah. Remember when? If you was on a date with a man, you probably wouldn't say, oh, I wish I was with my girlfriends right now. You have to have your own life. Like, you have to be able to enjoy stuff without constantly thinking about a man. And that's why decentering men is very important.
I find myself so much more happier when I'm not focusing on men. Decentering men from your life will get you so much further in life. As a hardworking, independent woman, I thrive in solitude. I thrive in my own energy. I'm not constantly drained by someone's son. Why do people hate being single? I've been trying to date here and there, and I'm like, it doesn't ever go anywhere. It's like men don't know how to have a conversation, or they just stop talking to you, or they just want to get in your pants. They don't really want to get to know you and don't want to wine and dine you. They don't want to do that. They want you to come over to the crib. No. You want me, you gotta earn that. I love being single. I love being in my own energy. I feel more confident knowing that no man is bringing me down or taking something from me or cheating on me. So if you're single, as a woman, thrive.
if you want to be more strict in your dating, what you do and don't allow, you really have to decenter men 100%. Dating should not be your main thing. Dating is always a side thing for me. At this point in my life, I just don't have a priority where I go, no, I have to go on a date. I would love to be with somebody when the time is right. When the time is right, when the opportunity presents itself, anything that happens may be cool, I'll consider it. But I won't cancel plans with friends. I won't cancel plans with family. I won't cancel plans with myself to go on a date. It would have to fit within my schedule. I will get on a phone call between doing other things. Because it makes no sense for me to cut out time to be with a man that hasn't proven to be worth my time yet. So at first, we'll have to find a way to work things together because you're not the center of my world. And then eventually, once we're dating, then I bet now I'll have time for my friends, time for my family, time for myself, and then time for us. But right now, there's no reason for me to do that. You're not the center of everything. I have a business I'm building. I want to make money. I have goals that drive me. Being ambitious helps a lot because it doesn't really make sense for me to sit around waiting for a text, waiting for a phone call, waiting for a date. And then it's like, I don't want to go on. It's like, okay, I could go on a date on this Saturday with this person, but he's really not all that. And he kind of did this and damn, like, or I could sit at the house and do a puzzle and drink my wine. And damn, I love a puzzle and wine. And that's a date with me. And I love spending time with some me. So once you decenter men, you naturally become more strict with your boundaries because it's like, it's not even worth, I already have other things going on. This isn't even, it's like whenever you feel like you don't have anything else going on, you have too much time on your hands, that's when things start getting a little flip-floppy. Okay, that's how things start getting a little shaky. I'm like, you know what, maybe the flag isn't that red. Maybe the communication wasn't that terrible. Maybe him canceling on me hours before the date wasn't the worst thing. No, it is. And you're out, no thank you. Because I have other things going on. Okay, decentering men will naturally bring you a more strict implementation of all your boundaries.
When you first start to take men off the pedestal, you have to understand you are going to be faced with a totally different reality. In this reality is going to be you now being a woman who is self-reliant. You are now in the reality where there is no one that is reaffirming your own perception of yourself. You are now in a reality where you will not have easy access to men. Men will not be plentiful. Men will not be there to stroke your ego because you are choosing to become a woman of quality, because you are choosing to become a woman with high self-esteem. You will deal with withdrawals because you are coming out of an old lifestyle that requires you to vibrate so low that you didn't have to think twice about how you were moving. You now live in a reality where you have to actually vet these men that come into your life, where now you have to consider what a man is doing for you. And that will make you uncomfortable because now you have to face those issues that your inner child had with feeling inadequate and feeling unworthy. This is a totally different reality than the one that you are used to. When you are going from the need to be picked, the need for male validation, to a woman who knows who she is, you are going to have withdrawals. You are going to have fear. That's going to be a number one emotion that you feel is fear. Because there will be this fear in you because you've always been this little girl who's needed the validation of men. And once you decide, I'm not going to live my life based on the appetite of this little girl, you will be faced with some rebellion from your inner child. She's going to be kicking and screaming because she still wants to be picked. She still wants to be chosen. And you cannot let her have it her way. No matter what happens, you're going to be in dating situations and she's going to come to the surface. And she's going to say, no, I want him to pick me. Why is he rejecting me? Why doesn't he want me? Why doesn't he want us? Oh my goodness, you have to keep her in check. That's your duty. And you cannot give up. You can't be weak-willed in this. Your trauma cannot lead you in these situations. When you are truly unbecoming a pick-me, you have to learn how to overcome these battles in the moment. The moment a man tells you one thing and does something else, choose yourself. The minute a man tells you, oh, I don't want anything to do with you, resist the urge to chase him. When a man is inconsistent with his actions, and that's indirectly speaking and telling you that he does not want you, do not chase him. Center yourself even when it is hard. You have to learn in those moments, oh, I have to choose myself.
Ladies, amigas, if you want to elevate your life, you are going to need to decenter men. This is coming from a married woman. I'm married and I love my husband deeply. However, we are two individuals. We are living two different lives. We have different goals. I have huge goals that have nothing to do with him. And all that I asked of him was for him to support me. And he does. And I'm able to do my thing. And he's able to do his thing. And I support him. And if we need help from each other, we can do that. But my entire existence doesn't revolve around being a wife or being in a relationship. Like even in my content, like some people ask me, oh, why don't you and your husband like do more content? And I'm like, we do content sometimes, but it's not the focus of my content. Like I make content for the girls. I don't know if you know that. You know what I mean? Like, and this isn't a men like bashing session at all, but like it breaks my heart like to see some girls, like I'll be peeping, like following people and I'm like, oh yeah, she's doing some stuff, like yeah, this is exciting. And then they get in a relationship and then everything goes to shit. Like derailed. I don't see no more posts. I don't see no more goals. I don't see they're not pursuing what they were pursuing before. All they do is post the dude and talk about being laid up. Like, what are we doing? What is going on? And I know how to recognize it because I used to be not necessarily like that to where I was like flaunting my relationship, but I used to be in a 10-year relationship from 15 to 25. I was very young. But in this relationship, I made every single decision based off of that man. And I didn't move away to college when I like got accepted to multiple different universities because I wanted to stay close to home so I could be with my man. Like made so many stupid decisions that I so wish that I wouldn't have had I centered myself and my goals during that time. But I was young, you know, you live and you learn, which is why I'm here to tell you as your internet big sis, okay?
I'm 35 years old. I have no husband, no children, no talking stage, and I'm not currently dating anyone, and I have never been happier than I am right now. Let's talk about it. I'm so at peace with myself. Like I've never had a completely dry phone in my life. That's actually like super unhealthy. But you know, I'm just a lover girl. I swear to God, the best way to decenter men is to just go on a bunch of dates. And they're gonna teach why you don't want a boyfriend. I used to be like so excited to go on dates and be like, oh my God, like what if this is the one? And now I'm just like, I remember one guy told me, I love how you just eat. The fuck am I supposed to do? Pretend to eat? I've been having so much more fun going on dates with my girlfriends. We cackle, we kiki. We always get the photos, and there's none of this, what are you looking for in the next 5 years, horse shit. Why do people ask that question anyways? I don't fucking know what I'm doing this summer. Like, I used to be so tied to my timeline because I was so afraid that I wasn't going to be able to have kids before it's too late. And now I'm like, and so what? The last thing I need to do is rush into a relationship and get fucking pregnant. Are you high? Women have this internal clock that makes us do crazy, stupid shit. And that is one thing that I'm not going to allow to happen in my life. If I meet my person and everything aligns up the way that it's meant to happen, I'm going to be so fucking happy and that's what's meant to happen. But if I don't, if I'm just meant to live this life that is full in so many other ways than being a mother, so be it. Everything that is meant to be mine will be mine.
Some of you seem to be confused about what decentering men actually means, so allow me to explain it to you. You can be in a relationship and still decenter men. You can be married and still decenter men. You can be celibate, you can be actively dating and still have men decentered in your life. What this phrase means is that you have established a life outside of the approval and the desire of men. So how do you know if you're doing that? Here are a few questions that you can ask yourself. First, if I did not care about looking attractive or looking sexy to the opposite sex, what would I actually like to wear? What makes me feel comfortable? How do I want to show up in the world? If I did not get married, How could I create the best and most abundant life for myself? What would that look like? Am I actively creating that life now? And lastly, what hobbies or interests do I have that don't involve being around men or have male attention as a component of it? That's all it is. I don't know where the narrative came from that suggested that decentering men equated to hating men. That is not the case. We've seen now that so many women get into these relationships with men, and when the relationship ends, they don't even know who they are or what they enjoy doing. We are no longer losing ourselves in relationships because we don't have to.
Let's talk about what it means to decenter men and how to actually do it. So first off, what does it mean? Decentering men means shifting your focus. Instead of men being the center of your life, it's you. Essentially teaching yourself how to be an autonomous being. This doesn't mean you hate men. This just means they're not a priority. We live in a patriarchal society, a society that was created and run by men, and this society prioritizes men over women. So now what would it actually look like to decenter men? Let's talk about what doing the work would look like, how you can unpack all the ways that you are centering men, how to actually put it into practice, what the outcome could be, and also how to decenter men if you're still choosing to date. First off, what does the work look like? This is you first and foremost identifying and then meeting all of your needs. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. This is the time for you to figure out what your attachment style is, to research, learn, and then heal that by putting that into practice later. This is the time to figure out what triggers you and learn how to feel safe regardless of external circumstances. This is also the opportunity to reflect on past relationships, to research, learn, and heal, and really unpack them. Each relationship, beginning, middle, and end. Try and look at it through a really neutral, objective lens. What did they do wrong? What did I do wrong? Okay, now, second, how are you centering them? Are you dressing for the male gaze? This is a time to question once you put the clothes on your body, your makeup, your jewelry. Am I doing this because I like it, or am I doing this because on some level, even if it's very small, I feel like a man might appreciate me wearing this? And there's no shame in that. We're women. We've been conditioned to do this. And I'm not suggesting you just wear something that hides your body if you really want to feel sexy, because good for you. You do that, girl, but you do it for you. Have you put certain aspects of being a woman into the back pocket, into the shadow? Are you apologizing for your body? Do you shame or condemn your body? Do you post pictures that you think men will respond to? What's the intention behind posting pictures? Essentially ask yourself all the ways in which you are or could be potentially asking for male attention or male validation, all the ways in which you are looking to a man to bring you fulfillment, joy, happiness. Okay, number 3, now putting that into practice. Once you shift your energy away from a man or men, you might realize how much energy you have. You might feel like, I have all this time and energy. I have this void maybe, right? Like I need to fill this now. I suggest starting with self-care. That can look like a cup of tea or a glass of wine in the bathtub. It doesn't have to be an extravagant thing. Could mean getting a couple hours of sleep. Prioritizing your girlfriends, your friendships with your girls is key. You can do things with your girlfriends that you would like to do with a man. I think this would be a cute date. Do it with your girlfriends. Once you start to decenter men, your friends might shift and change. They might come and go. You'll suddenly notice how many of your friends are centering men in their lives. That's not a bad thing, that's just where they're at. But you might notice how often conversations come back to men. If you don't have hobbies that you're into, now's the time to get into them. Reading could be a hobby. And I really encourage you to hold yourself accountable. Create some sort of routine or ritual. Every night I read this book for however long before I go to bed. And then really stick to that. Keep your word to yourself, and this will help you build self-confidence.
The only reason why you're so men-centered is because you don't have any money. Yeah. That's the main reason why you're worried about irrelevant things, like why he didn't text you back. How can I find a rich man? When you're up 6 figures, you're not going to be worried about the men them because you're busy out shopping. Decenter men and center yourself.
The best advice that I can give any woman, I'm not even going to put an age on it, any woman in this lifetime is to decenter men from your life. And I mean completely decenter them. Don't entertain them. Don't focus on them. Don't prioritize them. Quite literally, act like they're non-existent. Instead of focusing on men, focus on prioritizing yourself. Go to the gym, eat right, buy yourself flowers, buy yourself nice things, go on solo dates, take yourself on trips, get in your Bible, sis. Like, go to church, establish a good community within women, sisterhood. What I'm saying, figure out your hobbies, what you do and don't like. Spoil yourself, love yourself, be graceful to yourself. Because I read a tweet not too long ago and it resonated so well, so I feel like y'all need to hear it too. I can't remember what she said verbatim, but she said something along the lines of, I'm going to take you as seriously as you take yourself. I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to take you as seriously as you take yourself. And I don't think a lot of people take that seriously. Like, y'all take that too light. If you think about it, people only play with you when they feel like you're playable. So when people see that you show up for yourself and you love yourself, you don't play about you, they know that they're going to have to meet you on that same level. People are going to know they can't approach you on no bullshit, right?
Y'all are too sensitive. And so many people were asking me how to decenter men. Y'all care too much about them, and you care more about them than they care about you. This is why you're always being heartbroken. This is why you're always upset. This is why you're always in a therapist's office. This is why you're always taking medication for anxiety. This is why you're always worried about this, because you have not decentered men. You don't know the man's purpose in your life. That's what it is. And y'all are too sensitive. When people tell you the truth, y'all want to make excuses for it. Okay? A man is a provider. If he can't provide, he don't need to be there. Period. You doing charity work if he in your life and he is not providing. You are literally doing charity work. I said it. So some of y'all are too sensitive and y'all don't understand it. If you living with a grown able-bodied man and paying 50-50 and doing this, you literally giving back to charity. Because a man, only one job is providing, protecting and providing. In this day and age, providing is protecting. If he's not benefiting you at all, something wrong with you. You desperate. You want approval. You seek validation from a man that don't even probably like you because he's not providing.
I'm going to explain to you the magic that happens when you decenter men from your life. And this is in no way any shade to men. I'm just going to explain how to live for ourselves more and what happens and what we attract when we do that. When you decenter men from your life, or basically stop making your goal to find a man, find a boyfriend, find a husband, you are forced to spend time with yourself and get to know yourself better. You start to realize that there's more to life than just getting a partner. You start to get really motivated to become the best version of yourself because you have time to focus on yourself. You literally level up in every area of your life because all you're worrying about is yourself. And when you level up in all these areas of your life, you become more healthy, you become more motivated. Maybe you start cooking for yourself more, maybe you start reading, maybe you start journaling. You start to fall in love with yourself. You stop looking for validation outside of yourself, from men, from social media, because you're giving it to yourself on a day-to-day basis. The peace that you now are allowing to give yourself is a feeling that is unexplainable, because you're not filling your mind with anxious thoughts all day, waiting for a text, trying to post something to get somebody's attention. You're truly living for yourself. The best part about this, because of course this doesn't mean that we never want to be with someone. Of course we all want a partner and we all want love. That's not what this is about. But when you truly find yourself and love yourself and become the best version of yourself, you're vibrating on a whole other frequency, a higher frequency where better things exist, where unconditional love exists, where higher quality men exist. And that's who you're going to start attracting.
Decenter that nigga. Decenter him. What does that mean, you say? This is for my girls. This is for my girls. It will put you in position to learn how to decenter that man or decenter partnership in general. But just rock with me, because there's a season for everything. But just hear me out. I'm in a space where I was reevaluating everything in my life. So love, career, money, finances, the type of woman I want to be, etc. Just recognize that over all of these years that I've been trying to love, it's been such a vein of my existence. But of course, such a huge catalyst of my growth. Recognize that the more that I wanted a love that was reciprocal and that was a reflection of the divine, mine told me to take a step back and take these niggas down a notch. Decenter them. Learn how to validate yourself back in the center of your life again. Engage with yourself, with your boundaries. Engage with this new version of yourself that you're growing into. Put yourself in position and in priority again, my baby. A time for love and to love on that man and to all of those things. But how can you be put in a position to be an asset to a man if you don't know that you are an asset yourself? Decenter that man. Recenter self. Recenter God. However it is that you get down. Taking a moment to pay attention to what you consciously or subconsciously are prioritizing.
Nobody can tell me